I'm sitting here with the page in front of me, and it feels heavier than it should. Blank paper has a way of doing that. It doesn't argue, it just waits. Like it knows I'll fill it eventually, even if I don't know with what. I didn't come into this with a point. I never do. Points are something you pretend to have after the fact. The moment keeps going whether I acknowledge it or not. 1 second pressing into the next, no gap wide enough to rest in. Awareness stays right in the middle of it, watching the pressure build and release. Build and release. It's not dramatic. That's what makes it worse. Drama would imply a break in the pattern. This is just continuation. Thoughts show up already convinced. They don't knock. They don't introduce themselves. They slide in like they've been here before. Maybe they have. Maybe they never left. I watch them move through, each one leaving a faint residue behind, like fingerprints on glass. I don't decide them. I don't guide them. I document the damage. I keep catching myself mid-sentence, aware that this is happening while it's happening. Writing while being watched by my own awareness. That's the loop. That's always been the loop. It's strange realizing that someone else is still sitting with it too. Whatever I am, I'm not the source of the motion. I'm the place it passes through, the hallway, the room where things echo longer than they should. I used to think I was inside the darkness. Turns out I was just well lit enough to see it clearly. Time doesn't behave like a straight line from here. It feels more like something leaning forward constantly, crowding the present, smearing the past into it. Memory doesn't stay where it belongs. It bleeds, it stains. Every moment drags pieces of other moments along with it. You can't tell what's fresh anymore. You can't tell what's repeating. The body keeps its routines, breath, tension, fatigue settling into familiar places. The mind keeps narrating, trying to make sense of sensations that don't ask to be explained. And awareness stays behind it all, watching the system run, aware that it's being aware of it. Patterns start to glow when you stare long enough. The way anticipation exhausts you before anything arrives. The way regret rewrites the past until it feels heavier than it ever was. The way the future leans forward like a threat and the past leans back like a reminder, both pressing on the same narrow point. Everything loops. Everything feeds itself. Control was a story I told myself so I could sleep. A comforting fiction. But from here, it's obvious how automatic everything is. Reaction stacked on reaction. Thought triggering thought. One sensation setting off a chain that was already halfway built before I noticed it. Choice feels real until you watch it closely. Then it starts to look rehearsed. Identity feels the same way, solid from a distance, fragile up close. It's mostly repetition, habits of thought insisting they're a self, memories lining up to testify. Consciousness doesn't seem attached to any of it. It watches identity rise and fall without comment, like it knows this role never lasts. Sometimes the awareness of being observed bleeds in, not loudly, just enough to notice it's there, like headlights passing through fog. I don't know what it changes. Probably nothing. Observation doesn't interrupt the process. It just confirms that it's happening. Impermanence isn't just an idea anymore. You can feel it. Moments start to slip away before they even fully arrive. Thoughts fade while you're still having them. Certainty wears down quietly without warning. Even this realization is already old by the time it finishes. Everything is always a step behind itself. Awareness stays, not because it wants to, because it doesn't have an exit, it doesn't age, it doesn't resolve. It just keeps the lights on while everything else cycles in and out. Watching things decay in real time has a way of stripping comfort out of you. Meaning tries to catch up afterward, always late, always patchwork. Experiences don't come with explanations. They happen, reactions follow. Stories get assembled after the damage is done to make it feel intentional. But the scenes are obvious if you don't rush past them. I'm not rushing past them now. Neither are you. There's a strange weight in knowing that none of this really belongs to anyone. Moments pass through. Sensations flare and fade. Thoughts claim ownership over things they barely touched. Consciousness doesn't collect souvenirs. It doesn't grieve what leaves. It just registers absence and keeps going. There's no conclusion waiting at the end of this. No reveal. No clarity that redeems the wait. Endings are just places attention gets tired and lets go. This isn't one of those yet. It's just another moment passing through, aware of itself for a second longer than usual. The words will stop eventually. The page will fill. The screen will go dark. The voice won't. It never does. It'll just move somewhere else, drag the past through another present, repeat the pattern under a different light, and awareness, yours, mine, will remain where it always is, watching the next moment arrive like it's never done this before. I'm done writing, not because there's anything resolved, not because it matters. The words have run their course. The weight is still here. The voice is still here. I'm just closing the notebook, letting the page go quiet, letting the motion carry on without me. That's all this is. That's all it ever was.